Okay,
I
so
can.
right. So Karen is here again to share some of her great skills and our love for sharing whatever it is with us today. And this time it's about caregiving, as mentioned in the notification. And that's all I can say is that she'll tell you her experiences, why she's decided to share this with the team, but I'll hand the mic over to her and she can take it from there. So go ahead, Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Risa, and thank you for having me this evening share one of my passions, and that is caring for others. So welcome everybody to Caring for You, Caring for Your Loved One. So I'm gonna have to give this disclaimer. I do not claim to be an expert in the topic of dementia. I am sharing my personal experience in taking care of my father, who was diagnosed with dementia. In order for me to be successful in caring for him, I learned about the hands-on approach to the disease. And this is what I want to share with you today. This is a quote from former President Carter's wife, Rosalind Carter. There are only 4 kinds of people in this world: those who have been caregivers, those who currently are caregivers, those who will be caregivers, and those who will need a caregiver. Now, I must say I am under so some of the things that I'll be sharing will be coming from that workbook. Okay, so let's get started. Reverend Dr. Frederick C. Harrison. That is my dad. He is my first experience with caregiving for a loved one.
There's a freezing problem.
South Africa, and to work with the population in South Africa, which was an AIDS population. He headed an AIDS ministry. He also pastored a church. So we got a phone call from South Africa saying they too 25 years. So we was like, okay, send him home. We'd be glad to have him come back home. So when he come back home, not knowing that he was having the onset of dementia. So he went to stay with my sister. And so in that process, I don't exactly know what transpired, but we were together one day and he was over at my place.
The presentation is freezing up.
He said that time I had one beer. So I asked my oldest brother if he would, that his dad wanted to talk to him. So I gave him the phone. So he took the phone. So he said, well, I'll call you back, Dad. So he said, okay. So about an hour or two later, he said, well, can you call my the younger son, Tim? I said, okay. So I called Tim. So Tim said, okay, I'll be over there about 3 o'clock. So we still just looking at TV, you know, just chatting because he maybe been back in the States, maybe like 30 days. So just catching up on things. I was doing mentoring. I was recruiting volunteers to mentor offenders when they return back into the community. So I had a mentoring session that evening. So it was at the church. So I was like, okay, he can go with me. So we go over to the church. So I take care of that. So then I said, okay, it's time to go home. So I go to take him to my sister's house. So when I get there, I pull up, it's like all these cars. So I'm like, wow. I said, Dad, all your children here. So he was like, how you know that? So I said, come on, let's go in. So we go in. So normally whenever we gather, you know, we love to have food. So they had a little food in the kitchen. So everybody in the kitchen just talking and everything. So the next thing I know, everybody started disappearing. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? So this person went this way, that person went that way. So I'm like, okay, so something get ready to go down. So I go sit in the living room. So we sitting in the living room talking. So then my sister, she said, Dad, she said, Tyrone told me that you called him because you wanted to come stay with him. And so he said, yes. So she said, well, can you tell me why? So he said, no. So then my brother said, well, can you tell me why? So I won't make the same mistake. He said, no. He said, I called you to talk to you. He said, I'm not going to share that in this type of form. So then my sister, she get all upset, you know, so she go downstairs. So she started packing his clothes and everything. So I'm like, whoa, this is really getting serious. This family, right? So I said, well, let me give you a kiss, Pops. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll come and pick you up. So he was like, you going to leave me here? So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, it's evident you don't want to come stay with me. I said, you don't have me call 2 other people that you know, because I was like the, I'm gonna say quote unquote like the wild one. So I'm just like free spirited, you know. So I like a lot of variety and a lot of things like that. With my other sisters and brothers, they're more settled, you know, they were married, you know, had their little family life. So I guess he would have felt more comfortable. Also, I think he would have felt more comfortable being with his sons by him being a male. So that's something that as we go through this presentation, that I want you to pay attention to what the senior, what your loved one is actually asking and seeking for, and how you can get them to that place where they feel comfortable, where they can have that experience. Because after that incident, and he wound up coming to stay with me, my goal and my purpose was to make sure that he had the best end of life experience that he could have. And so that's what I set out to do, because I knew nothing about dementia. So who are you caring for? And what is your why? And so I had to ask myself that question. Why was I tasked to be the one to take care of my dad? So I want to play this YouTube video for you. And it's by Michael J. And it's called Amazing Grace. And he's going to give this illustration about knowing your what and knowing your why.
Karen, did you remember to turn on the sound part?
Yes.
You did turn on sound. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You can't hear it?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
But we're not seeing anything. So we're not seeing the video, we're hearing.
Oh, okay, so now I have it on my shared screen. I clicked on the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, you may have to reshare again. Why don't you go ahead and reshare? I think that's what's going on.
Okay, but I didn't want to share that. Let me see.
Yeah, go ahead and reshare. It's actually asking you to.
Okay, so I look in, because now I see you are sharing screen. And then it says stop share.
Yes, stop the share.
Okay.
And now go to the video now and then reshare. Go to the screen where the video is.
Okay, so I'm on the screen where the video is.
And now go down and find your bar and say share screen. And it's going to ask you, what do you want to share?
Nope.
Okay, you're using one or two monitors.
One.
Okay. So go to share. Your video is running, right? You have it on pause right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now go to share screen.
Right, so it's not, oh, it's not coming up.
So did you
Okay.
select share screen?
Okay, wait, yeah, so. So all I see is the participants.
Okay, so you're not seeing share screen.
No,
Go back
yeah,
to,
okay, I see share screen.
right, select that.
Okay,
You've done that.
uh-huh,
Now look, what is it asking you when you see the drop down? It's asking you what screen do you want to share, right?
okay, so now I go to the videos.
Go to where the video.
Okay, okay,
Got it.
okay.
Okay. Mhm. You're learning. Good.
Yes.
You got it. You got it now. So you can either skip. Yep. Hit screen.
Okay,
Mhm. Now you need to turn your volume up because we're not hearing.
that's better?
Nope. We're not hearing. There you go. It's coming better. But we're still not hearing completely.
It won't go no higher.
Where you increasing the volume from, the YouTube or from the actual computer?
Both?
And still wouldn't go any higher. Yeah, I wonder if you can go to sound. Yeah,
Try this strange 10-second technique tonight.
here it is. That's the commercial we're hearing.
Continue to take blood sugar medications.
Okay, now we're hearing. It's improved.
So skip the ad?
Yes, skip the ad. But then there's something wrong with the video because we're hearing the commercials quite clearly, but we're not seeing the video.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it must be a video problem because the commercials are coming in really well.
Okay.
So would you like a suggestion or you know what to do next?
No, I don't know what to do next.
How long was the video for?
It's like 3 minutes.
Just talk about what the video was about, and then because obviously we can't hear it, and since there seemed to be a problem with the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the video is about, he's talking about your what, and he's talking about your why. And so it's a teacher who's in the audience, and he teaches music. And so he asks him to sing Amazing Grace. And so he sings Amazing Grace, and he can sing. So then after he sang, you know, like a bar or so, so then he asks him to sing it as if his brother got shot, or somebody, a loved one just got out of jail, or something tragic happened. And then when he sings it the second time, it is totally different and it blows you away.
Mm.
And so the moral of the story is that once you identify your why, then that's when your passion come out, and then that's when you're able to be at your best. So we're going to put you in breakout groups, and so I want you to talk about those who have been caregivers, those who currently are caregivers, and those who will be caregivers, and those who will need a caregiver. So I want you to, when you get into your breakout groups, I want you to pick one leader. So when we come back, then that one leader will speak for the whole group. So Teresa's going to put you in your breakout group.
I'm doing that. Seven. Okay,
And so we're gonna give them maybe like 10 minutes. You know, decide what they want to talk about and come back. Is that too long? What time is it?
3. 6. All right, so I've got 2 breakouts group already, so I'll go ahead and get the other one going now. All right, so let me I need to move this one to breakout 3 and move this one to breakout 3. Okay. Now, as you can see, can you see what group you belong to now? Are they in breakup room groups at this point?
It should have asked them to join because you put me in.
Okay, right. So go ahead and join, hit select, hit the blue button that says join. And the one that you know, and you're going to be in, there are 3 breakouts room. There's room 1, room 2, room 3. All right, can you either communicate with me in the chat or waving your hand if you need help about your breakout room? If you need to join a breakout room. All rooms, all close all rooms, broadcast messages to all. Okay. Is everyone assigned to a breakout room so far?
I think so because they're not responding. So that must mean they're inside the room. Okay, I
Okay.
see one unassigned participant in the chat.
All right, so I'm sending a broadcast message to them. I sent a chat to them. So what happens at this point now? Can they all hear you now, Karen?
No, because we're not in the room. So when they come
You're
back,
not in the room yet?
no, I'm not. I said not now, but they're in the room, so they're doing their discussion. And so then when they finish, when the time is up, and when you bring them back into the main stage, then that's when they'll hear us.
Okay, so right now they're off in their own thing, doing their own
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
What I wanted to be sure is that they're clear on what they need to be discussing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll broadcast all right now. Your discussion, I'm putting that,
Okay.
should be
Mhm.
on what?
Okay, those who have been caregivers.
On your discussion should be on those that have been caregivers,
Mhm. Those who are currently caregivers.
those that are currently caregivers,
Those who will be caregivers.
those that will be caregivers,
And those who will need a caregiver.
okay, and those who it wouldn't allow me to send them a bigger text. It's restricted me. I'll have to send in. Yeah, it wouldn't let me to type more, so I'll have to sign this second one. And I'll
Okay.
put here now. And I'm saying, and those that will need a caregiver.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so they've been sent those. Everybody got those.
Okay.
So they should be all on the ooh.
So
I
they
can go, I can actually go in there and find out in each
Yeah.
room.
Mhm, mhm.
All right, yeah, let me see if,
Isaiah,
Yeah.
yeah, could you find that video for me? Because that is so powerful.
What was the name of it?
I type in Michael Jr. Amazing Grace. And then maybe if you could play it on that end when they come back in.
I can try. Let me see something. You said
His name is Michael Jr. I always type in when I get to YouTube, I type in Michael Jr. and then Amazing Grace. And he's gonna come up, I think he like in a blue suit, but the guy who's singing is sitting down with a brown jacket on.
okay. And the video is how long?
Like 3 minutes. And if you want to go past the introduction, you can go to like 106, and then that'll be right where almost where the guy is. I got to learn this technique with the link inside the PowerPoint because that's one of my strengths.
All right, so
Okay. I think I got it.
Yeah, that's it. Mhm.
I actually have been a semi-caregiver to
Okay,
my parents, and actually they were out of state.
okay, we back in the main room.
Huh?
Are we back? You said Teresa is the host now. Are we back in the main room?
Well, I don't know where Teresa is. I think there are a few people who never went to the breakout room. They probably weren't paying attention or they're doing something. I don't know. But I think Teresa's in one of the breakout rooms.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe there's something wrong with her internet. I'm not entirely sure.
okay, guys, so I've been to all three of the breakout rooms. They're all discussing, so you can basically give them another how many more minutes and then we bring them back together. So they seem to be all in topics.
Okay, good. That's why I wanted them engaged.
Right, all right, I hear you. So it
Oh.
seems like you're brave. I have yet to go to do a breakout room session because you see, you need help with it. And
Yes.
and as you can see, you have to go from one room to the next to make sure they're on the topic
Mhm.
that is said. Anyway, how much longer do you need for them to be in the breakout room for?
Maybe like another 2-3 minutes, because they're gonna go back into another breakout room and I give them a scenario.
Oh, so then we need to end the breakout room session.
Right. Mhm. And
Soon. All right, I will close all the rooms. Yeah, in a minute, I'll close it then. I'll close it
Okay.
and then everybody will come back.
Mhm.
Close
And
all the-
Isaiah, he pulled up the video, so we can let him see the video.
Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. All right, yeah, because I'd like to see that. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it'll give you a good, I mean, it breaks down your what and your why so clear.
Okay, thank you, Isaiah, again to the rescue.
Yes,
Yeah, B-boy, we really need
No problem.
Isaiah.
I'm telling you.
He's a godsend.
Yes, he is. He gotta stay close to us.
Okay, so let me know when to close it.
Okay, you can bring him back in.
Bring them back. Okay, so I'll
Mhm.
close all rooms. I've just closed it. And, oh, I wonder if closing means all breakers will be closed in 52 seconds. Oh, they're given a
Yep.
minute to
Yep.
close it.
And then they'll automatically come back.
Ah, okay. This is all new to me. I haven't tried it yet. And I've been teaching virtually for the last 3 years and I haven't done a breakout room yet.
Oh, okay.
So today's the first, and thank you, Karen, for pushing me in that direction. 'Cause
Oh, yes.
the only reason I was afraid to go there is because I couldn't handle the technology part of it.
Well, we're gonna be doing a lot of this.
Okay. All right. So they got 20 seconds left, and then they'll be all back in one team.
Mhm.
And of course, you know who took the leaderships. We'll see who took the leaders,
Right, right.
the natural born leaders, they
Yes,
call them.
yes. Uh-huh.
Actually, okay, so all rooms, okay, everybody's opening up now.
Mhm.
Okay, are you all back? Everybody's back?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right, so you
yeah,
got your
yeah.
first experience of breakout rooms. Good, we
Yeah.
hope you had a very good topic. I'll hand the mic back over to Karen. Go ahead, Karen.
Okay, thanks to Isaiah, our tech support genius. So he brought up the video for us. So we are going to be able to look at the video, and it should connect with your conversation. Okay, Isaiah.
It just happens. Or I'll meet somebody who's really interesting. So I met this one guy and he said that he teaches music at a school. I was like, all right, you teach music, you know, can you sing? And then I'm just gonna show you the clip. Check it. So you're a musical director.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right, all right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know which version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Right now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
Okay, Isaiah. Okay, so now, so you see the difference when you have a what, that's just like something that you just doing, you could be skilled and trained, but you're kind of like just carrying it out from the way that you're trained and your skill set. But when you actually know your why, the reason why you're actually in it and the reason why you're actually doing it, then that passion comes out and then that drive comes out. And then the person who you are serving begin to really see that you really care. Because when you're caring for loved ones that have dementia, some of their reasoning, some of their rationale, sometimes what they see is not what you are really projecting, but it's because of the brain disorder, it appears that way to them. Okay, so I'm gonna pull back up the PowerPoint. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead with change. It's not just you.
Okay, Karen, you need to share. You're not sharing.
Uh-oh.
So Isaiah, did you stop sharing? Because Karen needs to share. She wouldn't be able to share unless you've.
Yeah, I already stopped.
Okay, go ahead, Karen, and reshare.
Okay, I gotta find it. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Okay, so like many caregivers of people with dementia, one may feel alone and cut off from the world, sometimes have angry thoughts about one's loved one, sometimes want to run away, second guess and worry about their decision, not remember the last time they had a good night's sleep, question one's own sanity at times when your loved one's personality changes back and forth between sweet and mean, or or your loved one uses a curse word you didn't even think he or she even knew. Your loved one perks up and acts normal when other family members come around. But what we have to protect them from is not being safe. So safety is very important when caring for a loved one. You have to remove clutter, things that are not used daily, because clutter may distract them or confuse your loved one. And keeping the house clear or clutter-free may reduce the risk of agitation and depression. Removing clutter may also help your loved one make decisions more quickly. The rooms that should be clutter-free are ones that your loved one used the most. For an example, the bedroom, the bathroom, the dining room, the kitchen, or the living room. So this is what you should keep in mind when keeping the surroundings familiar. I mean, you should keep the surroundings familiar to them as well. So as you declutter, keep things that they are familiar with. If you can tell if your loved ones missed something, pay close attention to their body language. I remember my dad being a minister. So I'm thinking, okay, so, maybe I should decorate his room with some spiritual stuff. And so I had like if anybody remember the baptism pool picture that they sell out on the market where they, baptize them in the water. Then I had a picture with a frame with some church ladies. And so one night it was about 2:00 in the morning, I kept hearing all this noise. I thought it was noise. And I was like, oh my goodness, I hope nothing wrong. So I jump up. So I go in his room, he in the room having church. So the ladies have become his audience. And it took me about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to talk him down. And he kept saying, well, where are the other people? So he knew, I guess, I can't say, but to me, it was like he knew they were pictures, but he still thought they was real, but he still was looking for the real people. And so I asked him, I said, well, did you announce it in church that you was having a quarterly conference? So he was looking at me. So I said, yeah. I said, so when you go to church Sunday, just make sure you announce that you're having a quarterly conference, what time you want them to come. I said, and they'll show up and they'll be here. I said, but the night they not coming. I said, because you didn't announce it So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to, just wait until Sunday. So you ready to go back to sleep. It took me like an hour and a half to talk him back into get back in bed because he was fully dressed and everything. So I had to put his pajamas back on and everything. But now looking back, and not looking at him, but looking at the dementia. It wasn't even about him. It was about the disease that he had. He also had a fear of falling. And so he was always grasping for things because he did have a fall. He did have surgery. And so that was like a trauma experience for him. And so that carried on through the rest of his dementia. But I have to give it a shout out to Safe at Home. So after the surgery, we were having like difficulties with him walking and stuff. Now, if anybody needs this, Safe at Home has a wheelchair that climbs the steps. Because everywhere we lived, and it was like I was moving every year to accommodate his need. Everywhere we moved, they always had steps, even on the first floor. And so I reached out to them because you're going to have to advocate for your loved one. You're going to have to, go up against the system. And I'll tell you about that a little later. And so they awarded him a wheelchair, and I could even push him around in the wheelchair. You also have to make sure that their environment is comfortable. So he was on hospice. He was on hospice for 3 years. He was on hospice the whole time. And so, like I don't know if I got to the slide about taking care of yourself, but I wanted to go out of town. And so I had to make arrangements and make sure that he was in an environment that he was comfortable. And so the hospice people, they contacted the hospice people in Massanutten. They bought a hospital bed to the resort. We took their bed, put it in the garage, and he had his bed. He was comfortable. He had his looking at TV now. And so I had to make sure his environment, if not, he would have been agitated throughout the whole time. So it's different things that we have to be creative with and we have to do for our loved ones. Not only for their peace, but for our peace as well. So life does go on after diagnosis. It is up to the caregiver to see the person and not the dementia. People living with dementia can live good, meaningful lives if allowed to do as much as they can for as long as they can. He loved kids. Whenever the kids came around, this is his granddaughter next to him, and the next young lady next to the window, that's her friend. He would just sit down and he would just be so attentive and he would just be so quiet and so engaged. So, I was babysitting all the time. And then he liked the outside because he was a traveler. He traveled the world when he was, younger and able to. And so it's important that we meet them where they are. So I would take him fishing, and then I learned how to fish. I like to fish. And then if you see him with a blanket, you're going to see all through these slides, he's always covered because he always was cold all the time. So when I did the decluttering, I made sure that I kept blankets out, hats out, no matter what season we were in, because that was something that related to him and it was able to, it could be 80 degrees outside and he could have a sweater on or a jacket on, but he always felt like he was cold. This is I think it was his 90th birthday. And if you see those eyes looking at me, because you have to watch them and you keep eye contact with them. He was out of his comfort zone and what I sensed was he was feeling crowded because everybody was like coming up to him, but they was greeting him for his birthday. And so I stood next to him to make sure that he felt safe and that he knew me. So he knew he was like in a safe environment and in a safe place. So when I recognized his stare, so I went towards him. And so I stood beside him so that his guests could greet him. and that they wouldn't feel like, awkward as well. Health and nutrition. Eat and drink well. Add more fluids to their diet, add more fiber, reduce caffeine, reduce junk foods. At bedtime is always to give them fruits and vegetables. Exercise is important. And we know that for ourselves without dementia, that we need to exercise. If we can exercise 30 minutes a week, for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, we'll be doing good because it helps reduce our tension. It improves your physical health. So this is one of his little meals. Now you see the cupcake. So when I went to give him his meal, the cupcake was sitting on the counter. So he wouldn't get satisfied because he wanted the cupcake. It was sweet. It was, sugar. And so I had to include the cupcake with his breakfast. I think there's salmon and eggs, look like egg whites and cheese, in order to make sure that he would eat his breakfast. So sometimes we have to know when to hold, we have to know when to fold. Sometimes the battle is not worth the fight. Sometimes it's just, just better off to just let them have it. Got to pay attention to the mind and the body. Stress reduction exercises, signal breath, music, stretching, guided imagery, meditation, adding fun back into your life. So this is him exercising. So he began to get stiff, and it was almost like he was losing his ability to walk, and I did not want that to happen, because then that would have took me to a whole different level. So I got him a little exercise bike, put it in the living room. Now, sometimes I know we get comfortable with our style and where our house is and stuff like that, but sometimes you just have to, give in. And what I kept remembering was, this is his end of life experience. I still have my life to live. So he left us in 2020. So now I can have my place, fixed any type of way I wanted to fix. But to me, it was worth the sacrifice, because he was my why for why I was doing what I was doing. It was 5 of us. I had 5. It was 5 left. So that's another workshop. Taking care of yourself. So this is my checklist for having fun this week. So this week, I want to have fun by taking a trip out of town. So who's going to join me with these fun activities? Family and friends. So the things I need for this fun activity is the hospital bed, which you saw earlier, for my dad. So where are we going? So we're going to Massanutten Resort in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We went in May, and this was before COVID. And I've taken him there at least about 2 or 3 times before COVID. So what I will ask my care team to do is cook for dad, entertain dad during the day while I go out and have some fun, shop, go to the movies. Remember, this is a fun week for me, but he's a part of me. And I brought him along with me. So I still have to make sure that he enjoys himself as well. So I got a friend of mine from church, Kathy. So she came along with me. She just wanted to get away, just wanted to, wind down. So she knew about Massanutten. So she was fine with it. Then all I had to do was just pack and go. And so the adjustment that I had to make for my loved one was to make his environment as familiar as possible to him as home. So this is him once again at Massanutten. He has his bedside table. He don't have to stress about trying to sit up at their tables. He has the safety bar rails, so I don't have to worry about him falling out the bed or anything. So it just takes planning. He got his little teddy bear that he sleeps with at home. He talks to him sometimes. So I bought that along with him, his pillow. I bought his favorite pillow. So those are just the little tidbits. Then family. The two in the middle, that's his granddaughter and great granddaughter. And so then they found out she was coming to Macedon. So the friends came. He loves to entertain and he loved to be around people. So it was a 2-bedroom cottage. So they had their space and we had our space. And so we had a good time. So it's not about, oh, I'm gonna get stuck, caring for my loved one. Your whole life will change, but it doesn't have to change drastically. You can determine the changes and how you want to live that life out. Okay, dealing with behavior issues, problem solving. Define the problem. What exactly is the behavior that is troubling you? Think about what you have tried in the past. Set a goal for the problem. Troubleshoot possible barriers, measure success, and determine the next steps. So this is the problem, one of the problems I had. So what exactly is the problem? The problem is my dad goes in the bathroom and stays a long time. That was a problem. Why is this behavior a problem? What effects does it have on you? We only had one bathroom at that time. So how would I like this behavior to change? So I would like for him to come out the bathroom when he finishes or when I need to use the bathroom. When does the behavior happen? It happens especially in the morning. When you get up in the morning, that's where you go. So where does the behavior happen? It happens in the bathroom. Who is around when it happens? It was just me and him. What lifelong routines or personal experiences might be triggers? He loves to dress and to look good. Why might this behavior be happening? His loss in concept of time. So he had lost he could be in there for an hour and think he was in there for like 5 or 10 minutes. So another solution, what I did was I took and put a clock in the bathroom. And so I used to tell him, because at that time he could tell time and he wore a watch. And I used to tell him, so when you come in the bathroom, just watch the clock. And then you'll know if you've been in here too long. Did any of your ideas help at all? Yes, I also changed the light in the bathroom. So I made it brighter so that he could see. Did any of the ideas help? Yes, in the past, I took the lock off the bathroom door so I could check on it, because a couple of times he locked himself in the bathroom. And so in that safety piece, that's what you have to do. You have to go through, if he's staying in your house or place, you have to go and de-safety your house. You have to change everything, just as if a baby came home to you and they begin to walk. How you put the little safety plugs in the wall. That's the same measures that you have to take with your loved one. When would I consider the problems to be completely solved? When we moved, and I made sure we had 2 full bathrooms. So that solved that problem. So this is Pops getting ready to go to church. So he had his bathroom, I had my bathroom. So mainly I had to help him dress, but he still could brush his teeth, wash his face, but I would have to bathe him. So this particular day, I'm looking for him. So I'm thinking I put him in the bathroom. So he's supposed to be brushing his teeth, take care of his hygiene. And it's a 2-bedroom apartment, but it's like a student side style. And I'm like, where is he? So I'm walking, because you can walk around one way and walk around the other way. And so I'm looking for him. So I come back, I double back, and he's sitting in my room smiling. So I snapped this picture. I'm like, if you don't hurry up, so we can get out of here. We trying to get to church. Okay. So you just have to pay attention to him. This is him dressed again. This in the background is his health home aid. So I want to tell you about the program called Consumer Direct. Okay, so I want to read to you Did I write the scenario? Because we're gonna go back in the break rooms. I'm gonna give you this scenario, and I want you to solve how you're gonna solve this scenario. Okay, this is the scenario. Sam moved in with his father, David, 2 years ago when a kitchen fire was started by a forgotten dinner cooking on the stovetop. Paid staff help out with housework and keeping dad company while Sam is at work each day. David is in the middle stage of dementia. He is still mobile, dressing himself. Once his clothes are set out for him, and he remembers his son well, he gets confused about the names of the staff who are with him each day. He spends his days mostly sitting on the porch, chatting with the staff person or watching TV. Dementia problem, dementia behavior. 3 weeks ago, David started getting up at 11:45 p.m. and walking around the house. Sam is a light sleeper, and his room is right next to Dave's room. Sam gets up to keep an eye on his father. When Sam asks his father to go back to bed, David says he isn't tired and he needs to wait up for Susan, Sam's sister, who has lived on her own for many years now. While she did live at home, however, she was notorious for missing her curfew and not calling to let her parents know. When Sam reminds his father that Susie no longer lives in the house, David becomes agitated and a heated argument usually follows. Sometimes it's nearly dawn when David finally falls asleep, waiting in his recliner as Sam naps on the couch. David can sleep through the morning, but Sam has to get up and go to work. The lack of sleep is becoming a problem for his work performance and his feelings about his father. So I want you to go into your break rooms and I want you to come out with a solution. If you could remember the slide before where I talked about the problem and I went through the different stages.
So I have to set up a break room again.
Yes.
Breakout rooms, okay. All right, so I will open the rooms. And I will join, of course, see if I can do a shift. Okay, so are they all in their breakup rooms? They should be by now.
Yep, it looks like it. It looks like two are unassigned. That's probably me and Isaiah.
Yeah, Meryl is not assigned,
Yeah.
whoever
It's like
Meryl.
a few people haven't joined them yet.
So I'm going to put this one in breakout room 2 and Meryl, whoever Meryl is, in breakout room 3. All right, so there, everybody should be in a breakout room, right? Okay, well, that was very good, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
I'm telling you, you're an amazing human being.
Thank you.
Amazing. I mean, I spent a few months around somebody with dementia and I thought I was losing it. And it was, I'm not, you know, that group, that is not my passion.
Yeah.
So I am not, you know, I had my heart wasn't in it. So I just couldn't do it.
So you enjoyed the video, right? You saw how.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes. Yes. Oh yes. So it was, yeah, good video. Thank you, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So at 2 o'clock, how long do you want them in there for? It's 56 now.
Yeah, so we can come out and we can just let them discuss what they talked about.
Okay, open up the rooms.
Yes. And we can just let them discuss.
Okay. Well, first, let me close it and then all rooms are closed. And then from here now, I need to figure out how to open it back up now. Rooms are closed, breakout rooms will be closing. Oh, it hasn't been closed. First, you got to close it and then open it again until I figure this out. 40 seconds.
And then it'll automatically kick them back into it.
Right. Oh, it will. Okay. Oh, a few haven't joined any. They're saying that Doris didn't join back.
Mhm.
nor did Diane Hall or Dorothea. Oh, well, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to join the.
No,
members, but,
maybe they didn't want to. Perhaps they didn't want to. All right, so I've closed it now, or it's going to be closed.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so and I'm gonna open all the rooms now and then let them back in.
Okay, so I see them, so they must be back in.
Okay, so they're back in. Okay. All right. I'm sure you, if they're back in. You're seeing them?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so go ahead and take it again then.
Okay, so what do you think? So we're gonna open up the floor and we're gonna let you all share. What do you think Sam should do? And just anything you want to talk about or discuss about what you've heard or what you've heard so far.
Are you sure they're hearing you?
I'm not sure. I'm unmuted. Do I need to share again? Because it's saying you
I
are.
think everybody's pretty much just muted. That's probably why.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can hear her.
Okay, you can hear. Okay, Juliet, thanks for letting us know. Okay, so I guess you can discuss now what Sam should do.
For me personally, Karen, thank you very much for sharing.
Mhm.
You said earlier you have to meet them where they are.
Mhm.
And I would think for Sam, I would have a conversation with my dad and let him know about the time. Just talk to him on his level that I have to go to work and you have to go to bed at a certain time. And I know from experiencing other people with dementia, when they're kind of set in their ways, but you can still negotiate with them and tell them that, okay, when your sister come, I will let you know, but just lay down for a while and get some rest. And I can get some rest too, because I have to go to work and I'll let you know when she comes in. Although we know that she's not coming in, but he doesn't know that. And that's how I would handle that situation.
Yeah, you always have to agree with them.
Yes.
Anyone else from another group? Hello, anyone else sharing how they would resolve the problem?
Well, I would ask the person, what would they like for me to do? Let them know that, that I'm open for suggestion, and then kind of communicate within what they say. Because it's an open up to idea.
Their cognitive abilities may not be very well, but that you have to always let them feel like they have their decision-making rights.
Correct.
I would deal with the sister issue as well. Although they're agitated because of wants to see the sister, but the sister is the one that seems to be, creating the problem.
There is no problem that can't be solved.
Right.
And also Sam needs to make sure that the staff, instead of sitting and watching television all day and chatting, that if dad is able to walk, that they're exercising and doing things other than just sitting, because he's probably sleeping during the day. Then at night, he's not sleeping anyway.
Right.
So he's exercising and moving around, even chair exercises and things like that.
Oh, another good point is that Karen mentioned, because I wasn't in the breakout room, I unfortunately couldn't get there, was remember, you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the person who's affected with dementia and Alzheimer's. And education is a very important part, not only for yourself, but all parties that are affected. And as we continue going on, and I've been dealing with this with several individuals, the medicine and the information gets better and more informative. So I can't put old wine into a new wineskin and expect it to do well. So it's and what I'm trying to say, it's a dynamic venture that you're going through. But I like what she says. Once you know why you're doing it, the how it becomes very, very easy. And it's the ultimate show of love. But remember, you have to be educated. You have to have everybody associated with you educated. And remember, you're not the only one. And I like what Karen shared about the wheel climbing chair, because I was going to mention that, but she shared that. It's like excellent, because a lot of folks aren't physically able to lift somebody in a wheelchair. That most wheelchairs are 65 pounds. That's 65 pounds plus the individual's weight. Unless you're Hercules, you might have a problem with that. So that was very, very powerful. Shalom.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was going to mention when my husband was, I had to take care of him. They gave me one of those straps. He wasn't that large, no way, but they gave me one of those straps that I could move him from place to place.
Yes.
And it helped a whole lot.
Yeah.
It took the strain off my back by doing that. But lucky he weighed, I guess, about 150. So that wasn't too bad, but it did help, because other than that, I wouldn't have been able to lift him, from his chair, and clean him and everything, and back to the bed. But it helped a whole lot. And I thank her for what she said today. All that was really good. Had she sacrificed herself from the other part of the family because he wanted to be with her, and she accepted him. That was a good thing to do.
Yeah, you have to be all in. There's when I was in the hospital, I weighed 120 pounds, and all the job was there, but they have equipment and lifters and stuff like that, and they're on. They're already there. You just use them, so you could hurt yourself, but you have to be all in. You have to treat people that way.
Okay, so I want to tell you about if we have any more comments.
Yes, I have one, Denise Jackson. I wasn't in on the break room, but I just wanted to say my father, he had COPD and he had dementia a little bit. And so he was dealing with both. And his wife was, taking care because he was at home. So he would call me and she said, your dad want to speak to you. And I said, okay. So when I talked to him, he said, Denise, he said, Ethel, he said she being mean to me. I say, what? He said, yeah, she keep being mean to me. And I say, well, I don't think, and she was in the background saying, he's telling a lie, Denise, I'm not being mean to you. And she said, his oxygen, is, the more his oxygen from the COPD and dementia is both, trickling off. He say these things. So I said, okay. So like 2 more days later, she said, your father want to talk to you. I said, what's wrong now, Dad? He said, I keep telling you, this lady keep being mean to me, and she making me upset, and I'm not bound. She said, Denise, she said, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this no more. I say, well, after don't leave him in there by. She say, no, I can't, because he keep lying and telling you lies, and I'm doing the best I can. And both of them was up in age a little bit. And I say, well, maybe, you just got it. She said, I had a lot of time with him. I can't do it. And he just lying because he wants the car keys. He want to go places. And I keep telling him he can't drive. And he gets mad and upset and call you and tell you that I'm being mean to him. I say, oh, okay. So, we just went on from there. But yeah, so they do go through, different things, because he do like to go out and drive, and she wouldn't let him. So he was thinking she being mean to him, So it was just a lot. And he was in the wheelchair too. So Yeah, though, they do go through things. Yeah, really. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But that was a good presentation. You did very excellent.
Oh, yes, she did.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yes.
need, yeah,
So
we
let's
need that.
give it up for Karen, everyone.
Thank you. I
Thank
got
you
you.
very much, Karen.
My
Thank
goal-
you, yes.
My goal this
Thank you,
session.
Karen.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My goal this session was to get y'all talking. You didn't talk to me last session.
Yeah,
Okay.
you help make this
I
world
know
a
you
better
look
place for us to
familiar.
live in.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Karen, for letting us
Alright.
meet your dad. He seems
Oh,
like he was a
yes.
wonderful guy.
Oh, he was.
Yes, yes.
Wasn't there last session, we talked in.
Right, right. Okay, but who's awesome? You're awesome.
Yeah.
We are.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you again. All right, so we've reached to that point where we're now going to do the door prize. We just have the one again. Lou keeps reminding me there's only one, so I'm looking for a number for that. So if someone can give me a number, I can say who is assigned to that number.
Let's say 12.
Okay. Number 12 is Georgia Green.
Thank you.
Door prize for Georgia Green today. Happy Easter, Georgia.
Thank you.
All right, you get a $10 CVS gift certificate.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. And thank you, whoever suggested the number 12. All right. Anything else you'd like to talk about before we end the meeting today?
Have a safe and happy holiday, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
want to go fishing.
Fishing.
right.
Okay.
I
want to,
fishing rod.
right. I want to thank Isaiah for helping with the breakout rooms. Thank
Yes.
Karen for the excellent presentation,
Thank you.
and all of you for participating, every one of you.
Yes.
And thank you for a breakout room experience, Teresa. First time I'm doing this.
What was
Here,
the name of the video?
Yeah, I'm not taking the credit on that one. I'm giving it back to Karen and Isaiah. Those two.
Okay, that's all right, too.
Karen, what was the name of that video?
It was by Michael Jr. Amazing Grace.
Michael
sweetie.
Jr. Is that a TED? Was that TED Talks?
It was YouTube. It was on YouTube. He does a lot of stuff. He even have a movie, a book. I went to see him at a theater. Yes.
Oh, Karen,
Yes,
why
he-
was the second way that he sing it? Why was he so into it? What you know? Was it because he was glad that this person was dead? What was the significance of that?
Okay, remember when he first asked him, could he sing? Because he said that
Right.
he was a music teacher. So he
Uh-huh.
said, well, can you sing? He said, yeah. He said, okay, so sing Amazing Grace. So he sang it. So then he was like, well, I want you to sing it as if something happened to you. If his brother had came home from
Okay.
jail, if
Yeah.
he got shot. So then he sung it because he had a reason.
Okay.
That became his why, and that's how he was able to sing it the way he sang it the second time.
Gotcha. Okay. All righty. Thank you.
Teresa.
Yes.
Hi. When will we be getting the recordings? Because they still have 21 on there.
He did upload some more, so I would say expect it on Monday. It should be.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted all you to know that because we're canceling Travel Tuesday next week because we have a lot of training to take. Well, I have to train, and so I am not available to do Travel Tuesday this Tuesday. So please bear with us, but we will be back on board with Travel Tuesday the following week on the country of Trinidad.
Oh,
And we
okay.
do have someone who's going to facilitate it, who's from that island.
Oh,
So
that's
please forgive us, for that.
okay.
Teresa, you don't think we could handle it by ourselves?
Well, if you want to take it,
No, I just asked it.
I would be happy to hand it over to whomever.
I'm just saying, I did my share. Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I just can't be in two places at the same
So,
time.
and Isaiah wouldn't be able to assist?
Well, Isaiah will also be assisting me in the training
Oh,
with
okay.
all of our new these are new employees that I'm training. So I will not be available for that. I'm sorry, but we'll definitely see you on Wednesday for pages. No, we're not doing pages. We're doing advanced Gmail or email configuration and how to set up your emails, how to solve different things. So again, come with your questions, email them to me, and I will have answers for you on Wednesday about your email accounts and how to.
All right.
Victor, may I call you after the session, Victor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I'm a little confused as to why I checked the spreadsheet and it's showing, but I call you right after I end the session and discuss it further. Other than that, everybody have the most wonderful Easter. The sun is out bright and beautiful. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You're breathing, you're here, right?
We have service at 7:30, so I'll be going.
Okay.
You have happy Easter also, Teresa.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and everyone else too. Enjoy the Easter weekend.
Yeah, happy Resurrection Day.
It is, that's true.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Yep. Happy Resurrection Day. Okay. God bless all of you.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to send me the housing
I'll do my best. I'll add it to my list again. As you see, I'm a
Okay.
little slow getting back.
I know, that's okay.
All right.
Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
holiday. Thank you.
Happy holiday. Thank you all.
Everyone,
Teresa,
all right.
Yes.
Thank you.
won't I have to go on the, in order to send this, my address to you?
I think you gave it to me the last time. I'll copy and paste it there because I know you struggle with that.
I do, and thank
So
you
I
very
will
much.
use your last one. Okay,
Thank you
George.
very much. I appreciate that. And everybody have a happy
Okay.
day. Happy
All
holiday.
right.
Happy
Okay.
Easter to everyone. And I love all of you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you again.
Mhm.